Hey everyone, my name is Heidi and I'm coming to you from sunny Florida where I live with my significant other Bill. I want to give a warm welcome to any new and returning viewers. Thank you for stopping by if you're new, and if you like what you see, I hope you would want to consider clicking the like button and subscribing. Today is a Monday, it is April 29th, and this is episode 51. This is my crafty channel where I talk about all the crafts I love, especially knitting, crochet, cross stitching, and I even have a new craft which I'll tell you at the end of the podcast. And you can find me, other than YouTube, on Instagram and Ravelry as Yarn It Heidi. And anything I talk about will be listed down below in the description box. And if you want to know anything more about me, you can comment below, and I'd love to converse with you. That's why I do this, so I can communicate with my community out there. So today I have a couple of finished objects. I have some whips and very small acquisitions. So let's get to it. Okay, my finished objects, I only have two because I'm working on so many things, and I really should just concentrate on finishing some of these things. But you know what? Whatever brings me joy, that's what I'm bringing on. So the first thing I did is a yarn cozy. This is crochet, and this is called the, excuse me, the Yarn Cozy Light Crochet version by Nitty Natty. And the deets are, let's see, I used a size C hook, and this is yarn from Stash. I couldn't tell you what yarn it is, what colorway it is. It's just from Stash. That's why I love making these. And I did a little bit differently. I did the bottom in this variegated blue, and I did the I-cord edging with the variegated blue, and I think I did maybe a row before I did the I-cord, so it had a little more of a finished look. Yeah, and this holds 100 grams. As you can see, I have yarn in here that I'm working on, which I'll show you in the whip section of my podcast. And these are just a fun, quick stash buster, and anything goes. You can make it stripy. You can make what I did on the bottom, on the top. You can make it all one color. It's just a great stash buster, and it holds the yarn so well, especially with this I-cord edging. It brings it in, and it holds it well. You don't have to worry about your cake flopping in, and yeah, I love it. So this is the crochet version. She has so many of these knitted versions, crochet versions, smaller weight yarns for 50 grams and 20 grams, which I've done. And she has can cozies, like to hold like a seltzer, bottle cozies. She's got so many. So yeah, but I happen to like, this is probably like my 5th or 6th one. So fun to do, and sometimes it's like a palette cleanser where I'm like, oh, I need a break from all these long projects and something easy, and also crochet. So that is my finished project. It'll be linked down below if you're interested in trying one of these. Lots of fun. My next finished project, and I'm so excited with this one, I participated in a knit-along or a make-along, whatever you wanted to do, where you were inspired by a children's book and try to pair up a yarn that reminds you of that book. So so let me just give you the details. The person that was having the make along was Darcy from Chit Chat Knits, and the make along is called Knit Lit Mal 24. So I wanted to participate because what you do is you do what inspires you as a children's book, and then when you're done, you donate the book either to a children's library, an elementary school, you know, a random person, it doesn't matter, anywhere, a thrift shop, anywhere that you, well, I didn't want to do a thrift shop because I wanted to give it for free and I don't want anybody to charge anybody for a book. So I wasn't going to go that route. But I did donate the book, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. So the pattern I picked was one of Chit Chat Knits patterns called the Crisscross Socks. And the yarn is from my Yarnable prescription, so it's Yarnable yarn. And it was from their December 2023 colorway called Frosty Fox. I did this size small with two circulars, 2.25, oh my God, I can't remember, 2.25 millimeter circulars, size 1. And so let's see, did I do anything different? Well, the first thing is I did cuff down. I did a, what the pattern called for her ribbing, but I did a little bit of a pop of color here just to add a little bit different to the sock. I normally do 15 rows, so I did 2 rows of a pop of color and then the 13 rows of a 2x2 ribbing, twisted ribbing, which I love. Then I did the pattern. Oh, I'm on the wrong side, Heidi. Then I did it, there's a cable pattern, which is so nice. Different kinds of cables in there, believe it or not. And I did 5 repeats like the pattern called for. That's what's nice about a chart like that, is you don't have to count rows for your legs so you can match the other sock. You just do the repeats, how many repeats you want, and then you do the same for the other sock. So I did what the pattern called for, 5 repeats of this cabling chart. Then I did the heel, which is a slip stitch and gusset. Now with the heel, I do more rows. This is a size small, 56 stitches is what I start with. I have a small foot, but I have a very, very large instep, like an arch. So, after learning and talking with people, they say just add more rows to your heel. So with my slip stitch and gusset heel, I added, I made it 32 rows instead of 28. So that's my heel, the slip stitch and gusset. And what I do also is the first 3 stitches and the last 3 stitches of the heel flap, I do knit on both ends, and then I do proceed with the heel flap. Yeah, so I did that. Then for the leg part, not the leg, the foot part, I did 44 rows and then a rounded toe. So that was basically, her pattern with that. I just modified the heel to make it bigger and a little pop of color, and I just do the mic cuff 15 rows. So that's the Yarnable yarn. And what else do I have to say about it? Oh, when I kitchen stitched the toe at the end, and I was out and about, and I did not have a tapestry needle. And I wanted to finish off. I didn't want to leave it hanging. To do the kitchen, it only takes me 10 minutes. So I looked up Knitty Natty's tutorial on how to do a Kitchener without a tapestry needle. And I did it. Wasn't a big fan of it, but it worked. And then I did the other sock, just a regular Kitchener. I don't know if you could tell. I really don't know which one I did with or without the needle. I really can't tell. And so that was fun. So I finished these up, and then I took the book, and I did not want to do like a library, like a regular library, because there's millions of books at a library, and I didn't want to, I definitely didn't want to give to a thrift shop or anything like that, or even an elementary school. They get funded by, government and stuff like that. So what I did is I went to a little freestanding library that you see pop up in different communities and neighborhoods. And I looked up on Google, God bless Google, and I found one close to my neighborhood. So me and Bill took a ride over there, and it was in a little park. And I was like, how perfect. Somebody could just go in there and grab the book. So I'll put a picture up there of the little library we found, and I put the book in there. And inside the book, I wrote a little note saying how I used to read this book to my children all the time, and even to this day in their greeting card, there's a special verse in there that is in the book, and I used to say it to my kids all the time, and then I put it in the book that I used to say that to my kids all the time, and I hope that they enjoy the book. So it felt good to do that. Everybody wins, and yeah, so that was a fun make-along. I hope she does it again. I think it was a great idea to do something, and the yarn matched so perfectly. I put a picture of the book up here too, of how nicely it paired up. So that is it for my finished objects. Let's move on to works in progress. My works in progress, I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, but some of them, I still have more than that. I didn't give them a ton of love, or one of them, I don't want to keep repeating. I want to get close to the finish line and show it to you again. Excuse me. So I'm just going to show you, excuse me, it's early in the morning, so I'm still like, my voice isn't used to talking. So I'm just going to show, I have one crochet one. Oh, wait a second here. No, I have a few. Okay, I have 2 knitted ones, 1 crochet one, and 2 cross stitch. But believe me, I have a big blanket, the Cozy's Memory, that's long term. I have my Tulsa tea, which I don't want to bore you again with it, so I want to try to finish that as much as possible. And I'm doing the mystery knit-along for a gnome, so that's on hold. So those things I don't need to show you. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm loving this one, is a poncho. It was on my make line list. I loved it when I saw other people wear it and finish it. So this is called the Coryn Poncho by Amy Palco, and I'll show it to you. I have to take it off my needle holder, and I've showed it before, but now I'm really making some beautiful progress. Look how gorgeous this is. OMG. I love it, love it, love it. The only thing is I ran out of one of the yarns, so I had to wait for it to come in, and it came in, and now I can get back on it. So let me give you the details about this. Again, Coryn Poncho by Amy Palco. The yarn is my advent of last year, of 2023, by Chelsea Yarns. And it was like Christmas in New York. I had to get it. I'm from New York. And it didn't disappoint. She has beautiful, beautiful yarn. So that is the advent that I'm using in here. And I'm just going by the orders day 1 to whatever I finish up on. And yeah, and then you held it double with a mohair. So I saw the owner of Chelsea Yarn, her husband's gorgeous, and she used her advent, and I asked her what she paired it up with the mohair, and she used one of hers called Sunken Treasure. I think it's Sunken Treasure. I have it here. Excuse the wrinkle. I just got it because I ran out. So it's a beautiful, beautiful mohair. This is it. It knits so nice with the with her advent. It is so beautiful. So anyway, I'm gushing all over it. So the needles I use is what it's called for. I didn't swatch this one, or for a gauge, because I really don't care. It's a poncho. If it's loose, that's great. Hopefully it won't be tight. I've tried it on. It's coming along so nicely. So the sizes are a 6 and an 8. The ribbing with the pattern, they want like a 4. She wants like she put in the pattern a 4-inch ribbing. I didn't want it that high, so I did it 3-inch, and it's still a little high for me. But I rolled it when I tried it on. I rolled it, and it looked perfectly even with it cuffed down. So that worked out. So I'm not worried about that. For the colors, I'm doing, because I messaged Kristin, who did hers, and I asked her how many of each color, and she said she did an inch for each colorway, each mini, and then she stopped at like 19 because it got too big, and it is getting big. Now she's taller than me. If she stopped at 19, I probably will stop at like 16. So I'm on like colorway 10. So I'm gonna do like up to 15, try it on again and see where it is, and then you start decreasing and making the point of the poncho. So I'm getting excited because it's getting closer. I'm on 10. Now I can continue on with the mohair that just arrived. And yeah, so that is all the details for it. It is stunning. So a couple of other girls, I showed them, and they're all interested in doing it with like different minis, or you could do variegated. I saw my friend do all blue and it looked beautiful. You could do whatever you want. It's a poncho, it doesn't matter. I just happened to see it on Kristin from Chelsea Lux and somebody else, another designer, and they both, it was stunning. So that one, I hope it will look as good as it looked on them. So that one is halfway done. The next one is, I'm excited about, hopefully. This is going to be like a mystery. I'm going to Rhinebeck this year. It's been quite a long time since I moved to Florida, since I've gone to Rhinebeck. It always was my favorite day of the year. And some of my friends down here in Florida wanted to go, so we're going. And then, because we belong to this Love and Stitches membership with Natalie from Nitty Natty, we've met so many other people, and some of those girls are going to room with us. So we're like 8 of us are joining in on going to Rhinebeck. So there's going to be 8 in an Airbnb that's big enough for all of us. And I'm so excited because I've met them on Zoom, but I've never met them in person. It's going to be a blast. That's what I love about this membership. I've met so many people. They're coming from Illinois, Ohio, Florida. Yeah, that's basically where we're coming. 4 of us are from Florida, and then the other 4 are from like Illinois and Ohio. It's going to be so exciting. But anyway, they wanted to do a sweater, like a Airbnb, like a roommate sweater, whatever you want to call it, or a house sweater. And it's a color work. They picked it because they say it can be short sleeves or long sleeves, this particular pattern. So I said, all right, I've never done a color work sweater. I've done socks, I've done hats, I've done gloves, I've done, shawls, color work, but I never did a sweater. I said, okay, I'm game, I'll try it. So they picked out this one, excuse me for reaching over. It's called the Circulo sweater by Caitlin Hunter. And I happened to have, I looked in my stash and I saw something that was really pretty, but I didn't have anything to pair it up with because you need like a solid color or tonal color and then like a variegated yarn. So I had the variegated yarn. It was really pretty. It's actually tonal. It's very light. You'll see it in a minute. And then I ordered from Pearl Soho a linen quill. So I'll show you. So Caitlin Hunter is the designer and Circulo is the name of this sweater. I'll put that down below. And the yarn. Okay. So the linen quill, which is from, oops, hold on a second. Oh, that's what I'm holding in this yarn cozy. The linen quill is from, it got hooked up. I'm sorry. It's inside my yarn cozy. Linen quill by Pearl Soho. It's 50% fine Highland wool, 35% alpaca, and 15% linen. It's very nice. And the colorway, it looks great, but it has like this really slight color of lavender. So it's called Lavender Opal. And if you look at it, you can see a little lavender. And I paired it up with something in my stash. I don't even know the brand, the colorway. It was already caked up in my stash. I have no idea, but I just know it has stellina in there. There's some sparkle. I don't know if you could see it. It's really, really pretty. It's in this yarn cozy that I've made like, 3 years ago. See, 2 yarn cozies on here. So this is where I'll show it to you now. It's a little messy because of the 2 yarns. Okay, and I'm in the middle. Okay, so I hope I'm doing this right because I never did a color work sweater. So this is the beginnings of it. This is going to be the yoke. And I hope it looks like it will go over my neck, which is a good sign. My gauge was way off on this. So, way off. So I ended up going down needle sizes. I ended up going up a sweater size. But my color work, I'm a tight color work knitter. I don't know why, because everything else I knit is loose. So, so my gauge was way off and I had to go down. So I went down for the ribbing. I went down to a 3, it's supposed to be 4. Then for the color work, because the color work is supposed to be 6, or no, 5, I went up to a 7 with the color work, okay? And the body, just stockinette body, is a size 5. So 3, 5, 7, all the odd numbers on this particular Circulo sweater. So that's what I'm doing. Keep your fingers crossed. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I will keep trying it on. I'm not trying it on yet. I'm not too far into it. Yeah, so it's a really cool pattern. I hope I'm doing it good. It does pucker. I don't know if it's me or that's the way the pattern's supposed to be. I really don't know. I really didn't carry my floats too much because there was no need to do that. Maybe a little bit, but anyway, I have no idea with this one. But as a backup, a lot of us are doing that poncho. I will have the poncho. If this sweater doesn't come out too good, the poncho's going over the sweater. We'll see how it works out. So yeah, so that is it. Anything else I want to tell you about it? Nope. That we're all making it. Well, not all of us in the house. Some of us are doing the poncho, some of us are doing this. I'm going to try to do both, but I'm curious to see how others come out. That's the fun about it. You could pick your own yarn and they all look different in the end. So that is my Circulo. Okay, so the next one I have is a crochet, another really exciting one. Of course, I get deeply influenced by people that are making beautiful stuff, so I got on the bandwagon. And mainly because I was looking for a crochet project, because I kind of like finished up a lot of mine and I like to have something on the hooks. So my friend Esther was making this pattern, a blanket called the Blue House blanket. And I loved it because it's like granny square type look. And she convinced me. She sent me the pattern or gave me the pattern, whatever, sent it to me. And I said, all right, I'll try it. And I went to the yarn, a big box store because it's a blanket. I'm not going to want to spend hundreds of dollars on a blanket that I'll probably give away and that's going to get roughed up and it's going to get washed or whatever. So I went to a big box and I bought, I used like 9 skeins. So imagine if I went to, a beautiful local yarn shop to spend 9 skeins on a blanket, it would have cost so much. And usually I give a lot of my stuff away. So anyway, this is called the Blue House Blanket by Jane Crowfoot. I think that's how you say it. So so you make like, with one color combination, you like 23 of them. They almost look like hexagons. And then you make a different color arrangement with like 18 of those. I don't know, I only did about 5. So this is it. Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh, I made 5 of them so far. I did get addicted and it's really pretty simple. You don't need to know much. You just need to know how to chain for crocheter. Single stitch, double stitch, and that's it. Oh, and half stitches is half double crochets. So single crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, and a chain. And they're really all about wrapping the yarn over the hook. And that's it. So this is it. I used this color combination because I tried to follow the designers because I liked hers, of course, because that's what made me interested. I will put up a picture up here to show you what the blanket looks like and how similar mine is. And it's really fun because Esther's doing a different colorway, but they all look beautiful. So anyway, the yarn is, I love this yarn. It's the Hobby Lobby brand because again, I had to get like 9 skeins of it. but they're pretty big. I don't know. I mean, I'll have a lot left over. And I said to Esther she could have it when I'm done because she liked my colors. So it is a worsted weight, that yarn, but the pattern called for DK. I said, it doesn't matter, but it is much bigger than what the pattern shows. I'm like, oh, they're so big. So I will just make less of these hexagons. They look like hexagons. So the hook size is size E and G. Right now I'm only on a G. I have no idea what the E is for. Maybe it's for the edging. I don't know yet. So I haven't looked at it. So, and I'm weaving as I go along. For the most part, I just crochet it in, but some areas I can't do that. So I just weave the end of it. So that way it's all done. I leave a little tail. I don't know if I'm gonna sew anything to the next one. Some of I cut too short like this one. Other ones I left long. We'll see if I need it to sew other pieces together. I don't know. Anyway, the blue bonnet, loving it. When I need a little bit of a crochet fix, I tap into this and do a hexagon so I can get that in. Okay, the next two items are cross stitch, which I have been loving so much. Okay, the first one, let me get it out in my bag. Let me see, I haven't worked on it in like a few days. This one is a pattern that I ordered, a chart that I ordered last year. It was called the Stitchy House collection. Like each month you do a different house, and it's by Erica Arndt, also known as Confessions of a Homeschooler. That's the name of her website, and that's where I get all the charts from. So this one that I'm doing is going to be for October. I'm trying to jump ahead so then when October is here, I actually can put it on my board as the month that we're in. So the linen is stash. The color, the DMC floss is all stash. It's a relatively inexpensive project because I have all of it in my stash. Anything else? The linen is on like a 24 count. Again, just picked out something in my stash. Obviously, you don't need a lot of it, so anybody could, if you're a cross stitcher, if you have a small piece, this is perfect for that. And yeah, so I love the way it's coming out with all these fall colors, and it's so much fun to do. So that's the first one. The second one, actually, well, I'll tell you about a third one in a minute. The second one is, because I watch a lot of podcasts, knitting, crochet, and cross-stitch podcasters, and they're like floss tubers. So I watch one, and they're doing a stitch along, and it's an Erin Elizabeth, wait, is it Elizabeth Designs? Oh my God, Elizabeth, wait a second. Oh my God, I can't remember. It's Erin Elizabeth Designs, I was right. Okay, and it's called The Bee Farm, and I'll put a picture up here. And it's a collaboration between Helen D, who is collaborating with it. She's a floss tuber, and Cobweb Corner, where you can get some of the supplies, and Erin Elizabeth. They're all collaborating on this, and this is what I have so far. It's a 28 count linen. Again, I think it was in my stash, and most of the floss was in my stash. It's DMC, and I might have bought a couple. Again, this is an inexpensive project, and it is so much fun. I'm gonna post a picture up there to show you what it's gonna look like. I don't know if I'm gonna do the kind of finishing they had, but this bee, listen, I'm not a bee fan. I've been stung by bees. I am petrified of bees. Any close person that knows me, I see a bee, I run the other way. I am petrified of bees, ironically. But meanwhile, I'm doing this one, and it is so adorable. Good thing it's not alive, because I would not be stitching this. So, yeah. So The Bee Farm by Erin Elizabeth Designs. Really fun project. And I love working as a community doing this stuff, and seeing other people's, how they finish it and their designs. So, I'm just loving the cross stitch. I know this is mostly knitting and crochet, but cross stitch is something about it that's very soothing. And people say, oh, my eyes, I can't see. But if you get the good magnifiers and good lighting, and there are cross stitch things that you can do that aren't so hard on the eyes, like cross stitching on perforated paper. The holes are so much bigger, so much easier, and you can do a lot of beautiful stuff on perforated paper. Or you can go into even, what is that? Oh, I forget, the plastic canvas. That has big holes. That's like a needlepoint type thing. You could do this so much, but there's something relaxing and, about that needle going through the holes. I don't know, I just enjoy it, and I'm loving it more and more. And watching floss tubers, they inspire me to even go more into it. So, and the third one is I am participating with a couple of girls that have mentioned in the thread on my Love and Stitches membership. It's a chat thread for needleworkers, and they're doing a stitch along for, it's from the Modern Embroidery Designs, something with folklore. I'll put a picture. We're doing it. They put it in the thread. Anybody want to join along? I said, yes, I'm in. So I got the fabric, I got the floss, and again, the fabric I bought, it's charcoal black. I don't know what got me into doing black, but I'm doing it because it's a moonlight scene. You need black for moonlight. And the floss, I got some floss. I had some floss, and then I purchased some floss. I'm not using what they called for, their floss. I'm using DMC, which, of course, you can use that. And I just am going to do it that way. So, again, relatively inexpensive. When you build up your stash, you can just tap into it. I love that. So I will post a picture of that particular stitch along. If you're interested, come along with us. We'd love to have you. So, so comment below, and I'll give you the deets if you're interested. So that's that. So I'm done with all my works in progress for now. Let's move on to acquisitions. I have one acquisition, and then I want to show you about a new hobby. Well, hopefully it'll be a new hobby. One acquisition I got, I joined a group on Facebook. It's called Stash Unloading for Cross Stitches Only. And people put up their charts, their project bags, their flosses, whatever, their kits. And I saw this one person who always seems to put up these bags, and they look beautiful, and I think the price is unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I saw one, and of course they got scrunched up real fast. And then I saw one that didn't, and I said, I'm going for it. I want to see what these bags are like because the price is really, really good. Well, let me tell you, this is one of the nicest project bags I ever bought from anybody. It's not really like a knitting or a crochet project bag. I guess I could use it for, if I scrunched it in there, but this is more for a cross-stitching bag. This is it. This is a project bag by, what is her name? Oh my God. Okay, Stitching with Westies. I think she's got like a Westie dog or something like that. Let me show you how beautiful this bag is. Anyway, it's a two-colored fabric, right? Look at this beautiful zipper pull. Isn't that gorgeous? It's like a gemstone. I love it, right? And it's made well. It's thick. Her name is here. I should have just looked here. Stitching with Westies, yep. Her tag, and there's a little dog on there. And then the back, when I looked at the back, OMG. I don't know if you can see it that good. It's like a needle here, and then this is an outline of a floss, and there's even like a quilted of thread going through the needle. That is stunning, and it's so well made. I'm going to order more from her. I'm going to try to contact her and say, where can I get this other than, on Facebook, because they scrunch it up so fast. The price is so reasonable. It's like $22. I think that is, with her work that she put in this, look inside. Look how cool inside is. Now, I already put my next project, this stitch along I'm going to do, which I haven't started yet for this This is the charcoal black that I'm gonna stitch on. Wish me luck. So I already put some of the project stuff because I'm ready to go. I think we're starting May 1st, but do it anytime. Now I have to say, as a cross stitcher, the Stitchy House that I made, that's good for a beginner. Even that bee farm, if you're interested in stitching along something like this, do not do it on black if you're a beginner. It's just hard on the eyes, and I want you to be successful. Do it on a lighter color. You know, even like a light blue, which would be fine. And a sky, you know, it could be daylight sky. It doesn't matter. But as a beginner, don't do it on black. It's going to be hard on you, and I don't want you to get frustrated. I want you to love the hobby. So that is cross stitch. The last thing, where I live, there's so many things that you could participate in. There's pottery, jewelry making, woodworking, glass staining. And for some reason, I went to an art festival here where I live, and there was a group, and of course, Bill was with me. He says, "Oh, why don't you make that for us, Heidi? I would love that." And it was the ceramics club. So I said, "Oh, maybe I will join now that I'm retired." So I did. You have to be trained or whatever it is. You have to do like a certain amount of classes, and then you graduate after you do 4 pieces. So I finished 2 so far, which means you pour the stuff to make the ceramics. You pour it into a mold, you let it dry, you clean it with a scalpel and whatever you clean it with. I can't get into it because, you know, I don't even know. I only did it a couple of times. And then you paint it, it gets fired, then you paint it, it goes back in the kiln, and it comes out. So anyway, I'll show you my finished objects. It's no big deal. I know this is mainly a stitching type podcast, but I just want to show you because maybe you're interested in something like this. I have no idea. The first one I ever did is, well, I called it a duck, but it's really, I think it's a goose. My son told me, "Mom, it's a goose." So it's a neat, it's a toothpick holder. Isn't that adorable? I figured if I'm going to do something, make it functional. So it's a toothpick holder. Isn't that so cute? I love that I did this. But I made a goof. You probably see it right here. I don't know why I missed that painting. But first project, you know how that goes. So adorable. And then my second one that I finished, stand up, little goose. Another functional thing is a vase, like 1 rose or something small like this. I don't want fresh. I could put fresh in there because I used a glaze that is good to hold, that is good for water or food that you can put things in that. So I used that kind of a glaze on here. And I painted these flowers. It was a mold, but I painted it and glazed it. And again, a goofy on this one. Where is it? I don't know what happened. My nail must have gotten it back here. See? I don't know what I did. But it's only my second project. Isn't that pretty? I love it. I did this. It's so exciting when you do things. Yeah, and that's the paint job that I did on here. So that's my my vase. Okay, that's all my acquisitions or new things in my life. Let's move on to life adventures. Okay, life adventures. Not a lot, but some things. Excuse me. Oh, I'm so coffee. So, a couple of weeks ago, last week actually, my sister and her friends invited me to a exhibit up in West Palm Beach. It was called the Endless Summer exhibit. And what it was is, I hope I get this right, I don't know. It was about resort wear, how it came about, like how it evolved into today's resort wear. Like back then, when you wore resort wear, it was much heavier, and how it emerged into much lighter wear. So I'm going to show you some pictures of some of the designers' resort wear, but to me they look more like gowns. I don't know, but it's lighter stuff that you wear at a resort, you know, because there is such a thing as resort wear in Florida. You know, you wear certain kind of style. So let me see. So it was up in West Palm Beach, and there were like some designs by Oscar de la Renta and Lily Pulitzer, And they were so beautiful. Some of them were far out. There was one, and it was right up my alley, a jacket of like M&Ms. It was so cool. I don't think I took a picture of it, but I was like, oh, that's right up my alley. And look, the bags on the jacket are open, so somebody was eating them. So it was really cool. And so we went to this exhibit in like a historical society thing. Those are such great to visit. They have such great exhibits, and the cost isn't expensive, and you learn, and it's just a fun day out. So after that, we went out to lunch to this place called Elizabetta, which I love, and it's right, you overlook the water, and we had this beautiful spot that they gave us. We were under like this gazebo with vines and stuff. I'll show you a picture of that too. There was like 7 of us. So much fun. Life is good. Enjoy those moments. And that was that. So then we went home after that, and I got to spend lovely time with my sister and all her friends, who was so much fun. So that was a fun day. Then this past weekend, again, I joined. I signed up for this newsletter where you can get. I might have mentioned, if you're new here, I'll mention again, where you sign up for this newsletter for tickets for theaters that are around in the area, and if you win, you get discounted tickets. Well, voila, I won again to see a show that I put in for. And I said, why not? Last time I saw The Prom, which was fantastic. It was a Broadway show, I know, in Manhattan, but it was down here. Fantastic, fantastic. So this time I put in for a magician. I don't know if he's a magician or he's very talented. I don't know what you call him, but his name is Ossie Wind. He's been on The View. He's been all kinds of shows, as you know, awe-inspiring type stuff. And it was called The Incredibly Human with Ossie Wind. So I won these tickets. Me and Bill went, and again, a beautiful theater. You can have a drink at your seat. You can get snacks, whatever. And he was really cool. He involves the audience, which was fun. He had this young, well, like a teenager, maybe a teenager, come up, raise his hand, anybody want to help me? And he had the teenager shuffle a deck really well of cards. And he said, let me see all the cards. He goes, I'm going to memorize all these cards, and then I want you to cut the deck again and mix it, and I'm going to tell you each card from the top and from the bottom. So each time the kid pulled the card from the bottom, he guessed the number, and from the top, he goes, now switch to the top. He guessed all the numbers in the card in the correct way that he memorized it, and it was really cool. I think Bill said he made one mistake, but that was fine. Out of 52 cards, that's pretty cool. Then he had 2 Rubik's Cubes where they were all scrambled up, and with both hands, like one in each hand, he was able to do the Rubik's Cube. He did that. So, he did some really cool stuff, and it was a fun night out. It wasn't expensive, and it was a good time. So we did that. So that's all. Other than that, same old stitching, knitting, going to the pool, just errands, nothing too exciting other than those things. TV, movie, books, let's see. For TV, we're watching NBA basketball, the playoffs, which is fun, but not fun because both our teams are not doing well, that we're rooting for with the basketball. Baseball, my Yankees are doing fantastic, so I'm watching that. And then last night, we were looking or maybe the night before, Saturday night, we were looking for something to watch, a movie, and we saw King Richard. And we never saw that. I guess it's the father of Serena and not Vanessa, Venus and Serena Williams. And it was good. It was so good how the father, he was really a controlling father, and he had to say on everything. And then he realized that you have to take chances, let her grow up to be the person she wants to be. And anyway, it was very good. We really enjoyed that. I didn't know how it was going to go, but it was really good. So that was it. Nothing else to report. Life is good. Nothing much coming up. So I'm going to end it here. So great chatting with you all. And as always, I wish you peace and love in your lives. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.